Hi guys, and welcome to this video. I'm Rianne, and today I'm going to be showing you how to add in a triangular piece into a seam. So you can see I've just cut a straight line up this fabric, which is going to represent the spot in the seam where you're trying to add your triangle. This triangle is kind of wide, so it kind of can be a little bit more difficult because then you have to deal with a different angle. So what I did is you're going to line up your fabrics with it right sides together so that when you have it right side, so that you're wearing it and the pretty side is out, you're not going to have any visible seams or raw edges. And I started at the bottom instead of up at the top of the triangle. And the slit, the seam that I'm trying to add the triangle into, is actually longer than the side of the triangle that I am stitching in, which is very helpful when you're stitching in a triangle piece. And I'll have to ask that you forgive me for the video becoming blurry and shaky every time I started sewing. I had my camera clipped into a different spot than normal and was focused on putting in the seam, and I did not realize until afterward that the camera kept doing that every time I started actually stitching. And so it's a little bit blurry and shaky sometimes, and I do apologize for that. I'm just using a normal straight stitch, no fancy stitches or anything, just a normal straight one. And all the way to the end. You can see here that I have gotten to the end of the triangle fabric, but I still have a little bit more left in the seam in the green fabric. And so you're going to stitch it down, and I brought the edge of the triangle out a little bit because I couldn't quite remember if that was what was helpful or not. It ended up being completely useless, so you don't need to do that. But once you have it all the way down to the end of the triangle, you're going to run it over the stitch back and forth a couple times to lock it in before you pull it out and trim your threads. Here I am trimming the edge of that triangle piece because I had it pulled out slightly. And then once you have that, you're ready to stitch in the other side of the triangle to the other side of the seam. This time you're going to start at the top of the seam and the top of the triangle. You can see I had a little more than an inch of space above the triangle. You're going to hold the triangle piece and the fabric that you're stitching it into so that they act as one piece of fabric, one edge. You're going to fold it over, and then you're going to stitch it in place starting just above the edge of your seam. Once you get to the edge or the top of the triangle where it's no longer just the same fabric or the same part of the seam, you're going to kind of hold the fabric so that it's following the edge of the triangle, acting all like one edge as part of what it's already stitched to. And I dropped the camera, so that was lovely. We're doing some flips. Excuse me while I get it all situated again. Now that we've got that, you're going to hold the fabric underneath out of the way. Make sure you're not going to stitch in funny folds. You're going to just pull it back and make sure that you're only lined up with the edge you want to stitch to, and not a bunch of layers because of the fabric being folded underneath the foot of the sewing machine. Once you've got it on the edge of the triangle, you're just going to keep following it all the way down to the bottom, and you've stitched in your triangle. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.